Recognizes Mr. Fry for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This hearing shows who really has been in control of what is said to be one of the world's most widely used websites, Twitter. The American people probably didn't know who these witnesses were today, but these witnesses were powerful enough to silence an American president with just a few clicks from their California office. We're also learning that some of those in Washington, D.C. have forgotten their role and exercised their power to achieve ends antithetical to American principles of free speech and expression. The FBI is the lead federal agency responsible for investigating foreign influence operations. However, in recent years, the FBI has devoted countless amounts of time, taxpayer money, and manpower to combating Russian foreign influence on social media. The FBI, as one reporter noted, acted as a, quote, doorman to the vast program of social media surveillance and censorship encompassing agencies across the federal government, from the State Department to the Pentagon to the CIA. End quote. Reports suggest that thousands of reports from the FBI and the Foreign Influence Task Force were sent to Twitter. This isn't what the American people are paying for. This isn't what we trust the FBI to do. FBI agents shouldn't be sitting at a desk in Washington, D.C., scrolling through Twitter and emailing with social media companies. An email from one Twitter employee to another reads, quote, the FBI San Francisco Emergency Operations Center sent us the attached report of 207 tweets they believed may be in violation of our policies, end quote. Another email revealed that there are, quote, some folks in the Baltimore field office and at headquarters that are just doing keyboard searches for violations. Mr. Roth, Twitter usually found little evidence that the accounts the FBI flagged had ties to foreign influence. Is that correct?
In part. But we received many reports from the FBI, particularly related to malign foreign interference, that were highly credible and were constructive. So I would say it was a bit of a mixed bag.
And you pushed back to the FBI when they would send you a list of American-based accounts. Is that correct?
Politely, but yes.
Mr. Roth, it appears that Twitter employees were under pressure by the FBI and other government agencies to validate these theories of foreign influence. Would you agree with that?
No, I wouldn't agree with the word pressure. The FBI was quite careful and quite consistent to request review of the accounts, but not to cross the line into advocating for Twitter to take any particular action.
So flagging American accounts, in your view, is not foreign or theories of foreign influence. There's not pressure there just by flagging it to you.
Again,
domestic accounts.
I don't think it's a great use of the Bureau's time, but I wouldn't characterize how they communicated with us as pressure.
Mr. Roth, you enjoyed these meetings with the FBI, it seems, based on the tweets behind me or the communications behind me. In internal communications at Twitter, you said, definitely not meeting with the FBI, I swear. Is that correct?
I believe I was joking with a colleague at the time, but yes.
But I can assume that you were meeting with the FBI when you were communicating with your colleague. Is that correct?
Yes, one of my job responsibilities was meeting with law enforcement about election security.
And just so I'm clear, the person you're communicating with here says, very boring business meeting that is definitely not about Trump. I assume that's also sarcasm.
Yes, that's my assumption.
And we can assume that Twitter was having these meetings with the FBI about President Trump, correct?
No, sir. The meetings that I was a part of with the FBI were almost entirely and exclusively focused on malign foreign interference, so accounts being operated outside of the United States by other governments, not on the accounts of Americans.
So what is the basis of this communication then where you talk about not meeting with Trump or not meeting about Trump?
Again, I think those comments are sarcasm, but the context for this interaction was the need to mark my calendar private after another Twitter employee joined one of those meetings with the FBI unexpectedly. And so I had to implement additional security measures around my calendar. This was a fairly banal interaction with a colleague.
Mr. Chairman, I yield the rest of my time to Mr. Jordan.
Recognizes Mr. Jordan.
I thank the gentleman for yielding.